Hey guys, welcome back. Joe here from 9 to 5ers, and we are going to talk about productivity today. And our main focus is going to be on categorizing everything that we possibly do. And that is, you can put it into three different categories. That's do, delegate, or delete. We're going to talk about the purpose of this video first, so we can get fired up and figure out the reason why we actually want to do this and why it's important. We're going to talk about do, delegate, and then delete, and then we're going to do some takeaways and some action items so that you can take this out in the real world today and put it in your life right now. So let's just jump right into it. The purpose of this video is, well, we have a finite amount of time on this planet. In our preferred life, we want it to be an expressway and not bumping around inside of a dark room. The key to success is finding your genius zone. Everything else needs to move to the side. And the tool that you use to do this is called do, delegate, and delete. So let's just jump right into it. Do. Do is your genius zone. Skilled work is a 1-to-1 ratio. So you find a skilled labor, a skilled trade, whatever you're doing in your life, whether it's a lawyer, doctor, accountant, bricklayer, carpenter, whatever it is, it takes you 1 hour to do 1 hour's worth of tasks. And for an unskilled person, it would take forever in a day to get done. That's because you are proficient, efficient, and effective when you get this done. So anything inside of your genius zone, this is what you want to be focusing on. And your genius zone is also something that you're very, very good at. And it's also something that you really, really enjoy doing. So an accountant should be accounting and bricklayers should be laying brick, and they shouldn't be switching jobs. So what is your growth zone? The growth zone is something that you want to do to become more than who you are. This is also skilled work, and it is a 1-to-8 ratio. And I came up with 1-to-8 just for the simple fact that for you to learn how to do this, it is going to take you 8 hours to learn how to do it. And I just picked 8 hours just as an arbitrary number because it takes a skilled person 1 hour to do it. Because if you're trying to grow, you're going to try it, you're going to learn a little bit, you're going to try again, and you're going to learn, you're going to try, and eventually it will become a skilled habit. But until you get to that point, you are going to be in the growth zone. You're going to be bumping your head against the wall, you're going to be getting frustrated, you're going to take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But this is also something that you need to be doing to grow, because that's how you acquired your skills in your genius zone in the first place. Everything that is worth doing starts in the growth zone, and then slowly as time goes on and you learn it and adapt your skills to it and become better, it moves into your genius zone. Delegate. Delegate anything that is not in your genius or your growth zone. This could be routine tasks that are repeated often. If it's something that you do once a year, then it doesn't need to be delegated. And if it's something really small. And if it's a routine task, in other words, it is something that is skilled or like very low skilled or something that anybody can figure out how to do. Create a standard operating procedure for it, a checklist if you want to say it differently, and run through it yourself. Create a checklist for a task in your business that if it's like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I actually have this for my business as a property manager. I will go out, and when I'm meeting up with applicants, potentially that want to rent a property from me, I have a screening, I have a standard operating procedure and a checklist that follows the process from them being a prospective applicant all the way through to a signed tenant. And I follow it every single time. Now, I have not delegated this task yet, but I've done the next best thing, which is I've streamlined it to the point where I don't even have to think about it. And I can just go through the checklist and I can be as effective and efficient as I possibly can. The next step for me for that is going to be able to hand that off to somebody else. So when you are ready to hand it off to somebody else, you teach, you train, and you follow up. Following up is key. You teach the person, you walk them through it, you pretend like you're the applicant. Okay, what do I do next? I don't know anything. You teach me it. And you train them, and you go through the scenarios, and you do like a what if scenario. Well, what if this happened? What do you do? What if they don't turn in their bank statements? What do you do? Like what's the procedure? And then they go, oh, well, then the application isn't complete yet, and they have to bring in their bank statement until we move to the next step. Great, absolutely. And then you let them go out and do their own thing, and you put that, and then you follow up with them. You check the checker. Did they follow up? Did they do everything they're supposed to do? Follow up with them is key to keeping a high standard of productivity in your work area and also allowing that person to grow themselves. Adding on to delegating, I just added that thing there at the top to keep it there so we know what we are focusing on here. So the questions to ask, is this an important task? Is this someone else's genius zone? So is this something that is important that needs to get done? If it's not, then it needs to be deleted, and that's going to be in the next slide. But if it is an important task, then somebody needs to get it done. That doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be you. Is this someone else's genius zone? Are you a property manager and you're also doing your bookkeeping yourself? Well, why? I don't do that. I didn't want to learn to do that. I'm paying someone else to do that. That's someone else's genius zone. My bookkeeper can get the work done within an hour that it would take me 8 hours to get done because I'm too busy trying to figure out how to just work the spreadsheet program. And can this be done remotely, or does it have to be done in-house? Well, if it can be done remotely, then great. Have someone else anywhere on the planet do it for you. A VA, which is a virtual assistant. They can do it. It could be someone in the United States. It could be someone outside the United States. It doesn't really matter. Or if it does need to be in-house, then what sort of procedures do you need to set in place to get the ball rolling? Either way, it needs to get done by somebody else. And how much should this person be getting paid? A lot of times I like to go on different websites and I will type in how much should a bookkeeper make, or how much do bookkeepers charge, or how much should they get paid in Ohio or wherever state you're in. And you'll look that up, and then now you have a ballpark of how much this person should be getting paid. So when you offer them their salary or offer them their hourly rate, they're at least within the ballpark, and you know, like, okay, this is what this person should get paid. So you're not overpaying or underpaying somebody, because if you overpay somebody, then you're wasting money. But if you underpay somebody, yeah, you might be saving money in the short run, but that person's going to skip town or leave or quit or whatever, or ask for more money shortly after they, figure out that they're not getting paid what they should. And how long should the task take? Should it take all day to do someone's books, or should it take an hour to do someone's books? I don't really know. But you got to figure that out. That's a question that needs to be answered, and give yourself some wiggle room on that. And can I make more if I delegate this job? That's another important thing. That's another thing where if this is not in my genius zone, how much am I leaving on the table by doing this one task? How should I be doing my own bookkeeping? Should I be doing a $20 an hour job if what my genius zone is a $500 an hour job? Well, no, it's time to delegate this, obviously. So these are some questions. This is not an all-encompassing question list, but this is to help you get to the point where, okay, I need to delegate this item. Delete. What should we do with delete? Well, anything that is not moving the business forward directly or indirectly needs to be deleted. That's pretty simple. Now let's move on. Takeaway and action points. So how do you figure out what you should do, delegate, and delete? How do we get to this point? What can you do today to figure out where all of your tasks lie? Is everything that you're doing need to be in? Is it all in your genius zone? Can half of it be deleted? Can the other half be delegated? Well, these are some tools you can use what I use to track my systems and processes. What did you do all day long, and how long did it take? What I do is I just take a college ruled letter, notebook paper, and I just write down my task and when I started it and when I finished it, and then I just add in all the way throughout the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every single day. And then every once in a while I'll look back and I'll look and go, oh wow, I'm spending a lot of time on this, or I'm spending a lot of time on that. And is this really generating revenue for my business? Is this really getting me closer to my preferred life? And how long does this take? Is this taking me longer than what it should? Could someone else do this a lot quicker than what I could? And did it move the business forward? Is this something that is moving the business forward? Is this something that is making my business more profitable and growing it? Is this task done more than once, and how often? So bills, like doing bills. If I'll have on my task list that I do bills, and I do them probably 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I was getting to the point where I was doing them almost every single day because they just kept coming in, kept coming in. And then it got to the point where I finally was like, okay, me doing these bills is really starting to detract from my business. So what should I do? Well, I found all of the bills that were repeatable, like the water bills for certain properties or the mortgage payments, and I just set all of them up on auto pay. So now when a bill comes in, 9 times out of 10, it's on auto pay. And if it's not, it's because it's some random bill that I pay once only when I do the task. Like, let's say a tree needs to be removed from one of my properties. Well, I don't do that every single month, and I don't do it at the same property every single month. So I would write a check out, or I would send an electronic ACH payment to the tree guy, and that's fine. That's no big deal. But I delegated most of those items just because I could, and I did it through technology. I didn't need to hire anybody. So a lot of the stuff you can do without having to hire someone. Can you create a checklist for this? Is this the type of task that can be stepped out, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, 1 through 5? Can this be stepped out and replicated time and time again and get the same exact result? Or is it one of those things where a lot of finesse is involved? Well, the more finesse that is needed, or the more just brain power that is needed, it's harder to delegate tasks like that to an unskilled person. But you can delegate all of your yards getting mowed to a lawn mowing service. And there's not really a checklist to that. It's just like, hey, go out there once a week, mow the yard, weed eat where you're supposed to weed eat, kind of check on the property, take a look around, see if anything is kind of falling apart or damaged. Is there some siding missing somewhere? And just give me a report back and then send me an invoice. That's something that you can easily delegate onto a checklist. But going out and evaluating a property, that is something that might be more in your genius zone. That's something that you might want to, I don't know if you would really want to give that out to somebody else, because that's something that's going to directly affect your business, and you're not going to be wanting to put that task into someone else's hands. Now, doing a background check on somebody and following up on the leads of applicants, that's something that totally can be replicated and put a checklist in place. Like, what's their credit score? Okay, how much money do they make compared to the rent? Is it 3 to 1? Is their credit score above this number? Yes, no, pass, fail type of situation. And what to help you with this, because a lot of times you're going to have a lot of blind spots, have a mentor help you. Sit down with your mentor or your coach, or reach out to one of us, Reese or I, and just go, this is what I'm doing all the time. Should I be doing this? And a lot of times people think something is really, really important to do because they're kind of control freaks, or they've just always done it. And in actuality, it's not important for them to do. They can also help you find a competent person to replace you, and they'll create what's called an avatar. Your ideal bookkeeper should look like this, and not like physically look like that, but they should be, able to use all types of software systems that involve, QuickBooks and all that. They should be competent in Excel. They should be able to send and receive emails. They should be able to create reports for you and adjust them based on what you desire the reports to look at. And they should be able to track all of your expenses and your income, and then be able to hand that off to your CPA without you needing getting involved. This is your job description. This is your avatar for this person. And follow-ups. This is for your business as a whole. Time and task tracking should be done on a daily basis without exception. I am guilty sometimes of this, as I will get in a groove and I'll be crushing it, and I'll just like, okay, I don't need to track my tasks anymore. I'm pretty good. I got this down. And then I'll be good for maybe a couple of weeks, and then I'll start to see myself slipping. I'll start to see myself like, I feel like I got anything really important done today. Like, I feel like I just didn't move the needle forward. And I realized I'm not tracking my tasks anymore. So I'll get back on it and track my tasks, and I'll find out where my blind spots were, where my issues were, and I'll get back on it. Now, you need to review all of your tasks, or every quarter to 6 months. And the reason why I'm saying that is that your business is going to grow, and it's going to either grow vertically or it's going to grow horizontally. So you might, like, if it's growing vertically, that means you might go from, if you are an accountant, then you go from 5 clients to 20 clients. Okay, well then you've grown vertically, and you need to figure out what you need to be doing and delegating, deleting, because you've just 10x'd your client base. So what do we need to do, delegate, and delete? This is going to be different from a CPA that has 5 clients versus one that has 50 clients. And if you grow horizontally, which would kind of mean that a CPA might add on a business structure that is not exactly the same as accounting. Let's say that they have some excess money and they start doing some private lending to people, or they start up a hard money lending business. Well, that's not exactly accounting, but it has some accounting figures in there, but it's not accounting. Well, okay, then who is doing all those tasks? Is your partner doing all these tasks and you're just funding the money, or are you doing everything? And if so, what should you be doing, delegating, deleting as that business grows? Guys, I hope this helped. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about this. What stopped you in the past from reaching your financial goals? What types of videos would you like to see in the future? Please like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate that. That helps out the channel. And if you're on Facebook, check us out at 9to5ers. Thank you guys so much. We are here to make you smarter today and richer tomorrow. Have a good one.